Hey guys, HappyCattyCrypto here and welcome back to the channel. So we've been covering a lot of different stuff here and honestly, I was right. And I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people to accept. I know it's going to be hard for Luna community to accept, but it's happening. And the simple explanation to really summarize this thing is, when something like this is on fire, it's burning, it's crashing, there's no benefit in them telling the Luna community that they're screwed, right? There's no benefit whatsoever, considering the assets are in their native currency being Luna. So the last thing they want to do right now is cause any panic, and that's what their lawyers will be advising them to do. So something I'm finding really, really hilarious is a Lionel space that's going on. I've made a little clip from it, but they're us 2 years ago, but it's even worse for them because they've got all of these fines, right? And they've been shafted. And I said this would be an issue inherently. TFL have taken a huge community pool spend. So that's where all of their fundings come from. Now, obviously, the way that things look is not good. And if we really go from what we do know in this situation is, TFL knew this was coming, but they still made the community spend regardless. They convinced the community that things were okay, everything would be going ahead and everything would be going as planned. And they were trying to show strength. And that's what they would have been advised to do by their legal team, their marketing team, and any kind of strategy teams that they would discuss these kind of things with. But the last thing you want to do is act as if everything's on fire, because it's just going to crash the price of the coins that they're going to need to use to pay off everybody, including staff. So we've already seen Ivan's been let go. Okay, so now let's work from what we do know. And like I said, I was right. I knew this was coming, and I said there was going to be delistings, not just geo-blocking for the United States. I think this could be hard hitting because there's a central body at the head of Luna. Okay, and the whole thing was made from a situation that they created. So therefore it portrays Luna in a very, very bad light. Okay. So this is what we do know. Okay. Is that they're doing geo blocking and they're going to be delisting assets. So they're not available to customers in the United States. Well, that's a broad term, like a really broad term. So let's keep moving and go from what we do know. We know this to be the case. We know they're withdrawing liquidity. We know this is happening. So let's keep moving. We know about the fines. Okay, we've covered those. We know about the fines. We know that they've not even got 15% worth of what they need. Okay, so let's keep moving. We know about the digital assets. We know about everything. So panic is really going to start kicking in soon. The Luna community just don't know it yet. So now what I want to do is show you this clip.
A bankruptcy proceeding and a civil case in which astronomical fines were likely, and why they would want to have that in their account. That doesn't make sense to me. If we're saying that they knew that this was coming and therefore wanted the money to be able to pay things, I would think that that would work against them. That's all.
The only thing, and none of us are most of us are not lawyers or any kind of educated here, but the only thing I could think of is that by them having that large chunk, it shows that they have an interest in maintaining this, and in some of the proceedings, perhaps that is a point on their side of, yes, they should be allowed to continue working on it because of their large interest in it. But like I said, I am just making this up. I have no idea why, really. Only they do, right? And their team.
So the strategy in that case would have been that they were trying to show that they had a vested stake in and the capacity to continue to maintain this chain despite legal proceedings against them. They were trying to show that they had a certain size and scope and scale that it was important for them to continue.
So as you can tell, you're really getting a vibe as to what we were going through like 2 years ago. But the biggest difference is these guys have actually been shafted. So what you're actually going to see is probably like a huge squabble, and there'll probably be a war between the community and TFL. And I'm already seeing people piping up and saying all of those funds need to go back to the community pool. And other people are speaking about this panic button. Okay. And this panic button, you can Google it. You won't find anything. What you actually need to find is a very specific podcast. And I'm trying to locate it at the moment. I haven't located it yet, but once I do, I will get a video up for you guys. We'll keep covering it. We'll keep tracking it. But the panic button is supposed to be a button, okay, that's supposedly there. It's built into the system. So therefore, it must be built into LUNC and it must be built into Luna because DK built both chains. And this is supposed to be used in the event that the situation that's currently unfolding with the SEC being able to get at funds, it moves everything back into the community pool or to the Oracle pool. I don't quite know how this button works, but it's scary that a button like that exists. That's somewhere hidden inside the code, right? Is this line, this sequence that gives the ability to do this. This could be true. It could be false, and it's something that we don't know. So we have nothing to work from as to what we know. But I can tell you guys something that I do know, and you're absolutely going to love this. So around midnight last night, we're browsing about, we're doing our usual stuff, me and Strafer, back and forthing, doing what we usually do, you know, working on ideas, elaborating on things. And we noticed something very, very interesting. So let me bring this video up for you and let me click play. So we noticed that going on coining, if we went to Luna Classic, we can buy it. No issues, no problems, no dramas, nothing whatsoever. But if we add a little A on the end and look for Luna and try to buy, wait for it. Boom. System maintenance. This asset will be delisted soon. I mean, cue the drum roll, folks. This is absolutely huge for us because it's all playing into the unfolding situation. If a little exchange like this is delisting them, something's going on behind the scenes. CEXs must be being contacted because this is a small exchange, right? This is a tiny little exchange. They're actually harder to get at. So these people would normally run till the very end, to the very last minute, so to speak. So it's going to be really interesting. And CoinIn is registered in China. I know this from previous experience because of the LUNC thing. We've spoken to them before, so we know they're from China. I know that personally. I've spoken to them. They're from China. So we know this isn't a US thing. So I checked it. And it's the same for me in the United Kingdom. Strafe checked it, he's in Germany, same for him. My other friend checked it, he's in the Netherlands, same for him. My friend in Poland checked it, same for him. A girl in Denmark I know checked it, same for her. So this delisting is already landing on smaller CEXs for the Luna community. And whilst they all sit there and bicker about kind of like how they're going to get that 120, wait, I want to get this right. I think it's 120. Yeah, so $120 million worth of Luna at current value. How are they going to get that back? Like, this is a serious situation where this asset, whilst they're bickering over how they get it back, could just devalue. And what TFL are going to be doing right now is strategizing their exit plan and their exit strategy. And what everybody in the Luna community is kind of asking, that question you're all thinking, and you want to know the answer to, what happens? Well, you guys would be just like us if your chain isn't delisted from every single CEX out there, right? And your price doesn't crash. Then maybe, just maybe, you'll end up like us. But it's taken 2 years to get to the point that we're at, and you've caused us nothing but bottlenecks. So everything TFL is about to put you guys through, think about what we've been through for the past 2 years. And I think at this point, right, we need to put our differences aside as blockchains and actually recognize and understand that TFL created the crash. We know that. We know it to be factual. It's been proved and they've been charged with it. So anyone sitting there saying different, you're kidding yourself. Wake up. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. This is what we know. Okay? They crashed this and then they forked by force. They minted coins right? And they used it to sway the vote because it was voted for twice. The first fork got rejected. The second fork was passed. And even all of the validators were like, how did that even happen? Where did these coins come from? They are all really upset about it. They wanted to see the original UST. They wanted to see the coins burnt. They wanted to see something happen. Even CZ advised that, and a couple of other kind of high-up officials also advised this. So it's at this point, I would say, right, Luna Classic is a chain that is very deeply rooted. We have a very substantial Oracle rewards pool that was built up from the crash. If Luna crashes, this is home base. But I don't think the Luna community should let it get to that point. If they're smart, right? If they're all smart, they would prevent TFL from using any of these funds by simply just ejecting now. If they all eject from Luna now, if they all sell their bags, shut down their validators, sell everything, all at the same time, and they just crash the price, they get out what they can now, and they move over to Luna Classic. Because they're not getting that money back from the community pool, what they've paid them. We've already been through this. And the only reason we was able to get to that UST was because it was in contract. It wasn't in a wallet, it was held in a contract, so it was burnable. This thing's in a wallet. The only people who can send it back is TFL, and they ain't sending it back. So I'll keep listening to these spaces. I'll keep tracking these things, and I'll keep you guys up to date with all of the delistings as they roll in. And what I'm really looking forward to is finding out what's going to happen with DK. It's going to be so interesting once that finally happens. And I really do think that will be the bow of the whole situation that's played out for TFL. I really think that is the situation. And for those of you who are angry with this video, you're upset, don't shoot the messenger. Okay, I'm just the guy who points these things out. It's nothing personal. It's just how it is at the moment. All right, and I've been with Luna Classic from the beginning. I've always stood by Luna Classic, and everything I do will always be for Luna Classic. And it's that simple. I've always believed in this blockchain, and anything I've ever done has been to expand this blockchain's ecosystem and better it for all of us moving forward. So as I was saying, make what you will of it. But I think the Luna and Luna Classic community should really, really pull together at this point and figure this thing out. Because TFL have stuffed all of us at this point, and they just don't care. Think about the wage they're paying Chris Amani. Think about the money that they've taken knowing this was going to happen. They knew they had faked transactions. They knew everything that they did, yet they knowingly took a spend proposal from this community, knowing it would be there to fund them through their court case. And this is what they've all been discussing in that space where I showed you a clip from. If that space is ended, I'll try to provide a link to it so you guys can go and have a listen. But other than that, enjoy your weekends, guys. This is really bullish news for us. We couldn't have dreamt up a better situation, to be quite honest. And I've been tracking this court case from the start till now. And I really couldn't think of a better way for this to all have unfolded. So let me just quickly bring this up again. Our exposure is $15 million. Okay, their exposure is $120 million on top of another $80,000. You see what I'm getting at here? Exactly. So then if we start to add all of these up and we really bind it all together, you're looking at $80 million worth extra just in BTC, USDC, ETH, Astro, Sol. So some of these are Cosmos coins, for example, like Osmosis. So we're going to see a few dumps here, there and everywhere. And it's the same with Whale. If we look at the quantity that they hold, it's a fair amount for a chain like Whale. So that's going to be really damaging for them. It's going to be so interesting to see how all of this pans out. Like I was saying, guys, have a really good weekend. I'm so happy about all of this news. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you're excited too. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos we've been doing, if you've been busy, I get it. Try to go back, get yourself up to date. There's a lot of good news that has been unfolding. If you're new here, subscribe. If you've been here the whole time, drop a comment on the way out. If you're new here, drop a comment on the way out. Hit the notifications bell. Drop a like. It's really going to help us grow, and it's going to help us keep coming back and making content on Luna Classic for you guys. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and as always, catch you in the next one. Ciao.